One corroded latch changed maritime safety standards around the world overnight, and most people have never heard of it. On the night of September 27, 1994, the MS Estonia was crossing the Baltic Sea from Tallinn, Estonia, to Stockholm, Sweden, a routine overnight ferry route carrying 989 passengers and crew. Conditions were rough but not extraordinary for the region. The ship had made this crossing hundreds of times before. The Estonia was what's called a roll-on, roll-off ferry, or rowrow, meaning vehicles drove straight onto a flat open car deck through a massive hinged door at the bow of the ship. That bow visor, a huge clamshell-style door at the very front, was held shut by a set of mechanical locks and latches while at sea. In heavy swells, the bow visor was taking a battering, but what nobody on the bridge knew was that the locking mechanisms holding it closed had been slowly degrading for years, poorly maintained and inadequately designed for the stresses of regular North Sea and Baltic crossings. Just after 1 a.m., the latches gave way entirely. With the visor torn off, the inner ramp that sealed the car deck was left exposed and forced open by the rushing sea. Water poured onto the flat, wide car deck at an enormous rate, and a ro-ro ferry's car deck is its fatal weakness. A single vast open space with almost nothing to stop water spreading instantly from one end to the other. The Estonia listed sharply to starboard within minutes, reaching an angle so steep that most passengers couldn't stand, let alone reach the lifeboats. The ship capsized and sank in less than 40 minutes from the first breach, in water just 4 degrees Celsius. Of the 989 people on board, only 137 survived and 52 lives were lost. The Joint Accident Investigation concluded that the bow visor's locking hardware was fundamentally under-engineered for real operating conditions, and that inspection regimes had completely failed to catch the cumulative damage. Critically, the ro-ro design itself meant that once the car deck flooded, there was almost nothing that could stop the ship from going over. The disaster forced an emergency overhaul of international maritime safety rules. New SOLAS regulations required ro-ro ferries to be capable of surviving flooding on the car deck without immediately capsizing, and bow door inspection standards were dramatically tightened across the entire global fleet. The Estonia didn't just expose one ship's flaw, it exposed a systemic blind spot in how the entire industry thought about ferry design. Follow for more shocking accidents that changed the world.